Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier met in January at UFC 257 in a rematch of their bout in September 2014. The Irishman lost the fight via second-round TKO, the first knockout of his career, and then lost again to the same opponent in July when he broke his tibia during the first round. Today, we are looking at how much McGregor made from pay-per-view sales from the bout, so don't go anywhere. First of all, what happened during the fight? As the headliner for UFC 257, Dustin Poirier, record of 27-6, and Conor McGregor, record of 22-5, went at it once again in a rematch of their September 2014 fight at UFC 178, where McGregor won by a TKO with 1 minute and 46 seconds on the clock in the first round. A pretty impressive performance then. Fast forward to UFC 257 on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. Dustin Poirier really proved himself that night, as basically everyone had predicted a McGregor win. Poirier kept up with McGregor's pace and delivered some pretty devastating calf kicks to the Irish fighter. Although Conor McGregor seemed to have been prepared for this fight due to how calm he appeared before the fight, he did not really seem like the notorious of old. Unfortunately, the brutal calf kicks caught up to him, allowing Poirier to throw punches to score himself a TKO win with 2 minutes and 32 seconds into round 2. Dustin Poirier, ranked number 1, entered this fight with odds at plus 275, and Conor McGregor, ranked number 6, a generous favorite at minus 335. McGregor has already requested a trilogy, and Poirier stated, "Crown me now," meaning he thinks he's already the lightweight division's next champ. He knows he can beat McGregor again, which he obviously has since proven, even if it was via freak accident. The record between the two is now 2-1 in favor of Poirier. Do you see a fourth fight in the works? We all know McGregor is still a cash cow, so maybe it's not that much of a stretch to think Poirier would take a fourth fight. So what about these pay-per-view figures from January then? Stay with us, as all will be revealed next. This week, McGregor posted an image of the receipt for the pay-per-view sold for the January bout in Abu Dhabi, which shows 1,504,737 pay-per-views were sold. The document also shows that the actual pay-per-views sold slightly exceeded the projected number of 1,500,238. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier obviously took home the biggest paychecks following last month's blockbuster UFC 257 pay-per-view being the headliners. The Irishman reportedly made $3 million for showing up to fight Poirier in the main event of UFC 257 on January 23rd. Poirier, on the other hand, made $830,000 for his knockout win over the Notorious One. This includes a Performance of the Night bonus of $50,000 for his spectacular performance. Poirier shocked the world by knocking out Conor McGregor for the very first time in the latter's career in the first pay-per-view of 2021, which took place at the Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. However, even in defeat, McGregor made a lot more money compared to his counterpart. That speaks volumes about the popularity of the man who is undeniably the biggest star in the history of MMA. Conor McGregor is expected to make much more than the reported $3 million purse, thanks to the huge success of UFC 257 in terms of pay-per-view buys. McGregor is likely to end up making more than $10 million from pay-per-view share money. Poirier, too, is expected to take home around $1.5 million from pay-per-view points. Not bad, lads, not bad. So what else has been happening with McGregor recently? Stay tuned as we reveal his latest antics. Speaking of McGregor, he has this week been going over old ground in his beef with Khabib, his manager, and Dagestan in general. Not a wise move, as they are clearly some of the hardest people around. Since 2016, there has been no love lost between Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. At one time, the tension between the two was mostly competitive in nature, but that would all change ahead of their UFC 229 bout 2 years later, which Khabib dominated. In the build-up to this event, the two took part in what UFC President Dana White called the darkest press conference in UFC history. During the conference, McGregor took multiple shots at Khabib, including remarks that some consider to be inflammatory against the Islam religion. After Khabib defeated McGregor at the pay-per-view, all the pin-up rage spilled over into a post-fight brawl initiated by Khabib leaping into the crowd to attack a teammate of McGregor, Dylan Denise. Khabib attributed his loss of temper to McGregor's pre-fight rhetoric. In the 3 years since the record-breaking fight, the animosity between McGregor and Khabib hasn't calmed. Among the most controversial moments, McGregor called Khabib's wife a towel and a classless reference to the death of Khabib's father, Abdulmanap. On Wednesday, McGregor decided to pass the time by posting a picture of the infamous bus attack when McGregor and his entourage ambushed the UFC fighter bus in an attempt to get to Khabib. What did you guys think of that incident? Bastrican, where is Khabib's blank in his pants medal? He needs to blank his pants 10 rows back, the tweet reads. Not sure we understand that one, Conor. Khabib's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, then got involved, tweeting, "You're drinking again, boy. He takes your soul but never gives it back." McGregor then shared a since-deleted screenshot of a Google search that displayed information of Dagestan inbreeding statistics, to which McGregor McGregor shared his amusement with a crying, laughing emoji. It all seems a little silly to keep this going 3 years after being pretty easily dismantled. What do you guys make of McGregor's feud with Khabib? Now, some news from the world of Jon Jones, so stay with us. Jon Jones has issued his first statement after the news broke that he has been banned from Jackson Wink MMA and has also denied assaulting his fiancée. Earlier today, Coach Mike Winklejohn of Jackson Wink MMA revealed that longtime team member Jon Jones has been banned from the gym. Winklejohn left the door open for him to return to the gym at some point if Jones is able to remain sober for an undisclosed period of time, something which he continually seems to struggle with. Until then, it is with a heavy heart that the coach made someone he views as a younger brother persona non grata in the gym Jones has called home for the majority of his career. The decision was made after disturbing details were released of Jones's battery domestic violence arrest last month, among other charges. Jones has already vowed to remove alcohol from his life forever, but until Winklejohn sees proof, he felt that tough love was in order. He also thought that a message of accountability had to be sent to other gym members. Fair enough. What do you guys make of Jones's latest conduct, or lack of it? Some news now from Triple C Cejudo. If Henry Cejudo does decide to make a comeback to MMA, his manager says that it would not be for a one-off, which is pretty exciting news. Essentially, from the moment he decided to announce his retirement from the sport, Cejudo has been flirting with the idea of making a return. He has basically called out every champion across 3 weight divisions, with the most recent one being against featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. Most people are brushing this off because the expectation is that the UFC would not want to go for a one-off title fight, only for Cejudo to retire again right after potentially winning the belt. However, Ali Abdelaziz, manager of Triple C, recently told us that this was not Cejudo's intention at all, and that if he does fight for the featherweight title, win or lose, he would continue to fight. This is potentially good news, as there is certainly a lot left in the Cejudo tank, we think. What do you guys make of a potential return for the former champ? And finally, Colorado is breaking ground and adopting open scoring in the sport of boxing and mixed martial arts. Finally, we hear you cry. The Colorado State Boxing Commission, CSBC, voted Tuesday to implement new rules and regulations for combat sports. According to Director Tony Cummings, Kansas is the only other state that is currently operating with the approved legislation. The Sunflower State has been practicing the measure since February of 2020. Open scoring allows everyone from fighters, coaches, and fans the ability to know how the judges are assessing the fights in real time. After every round, scoring tabulations will be made public to anyone who wants to see them. The news is particularly intriguing since fighters will now know if they are winning or losing their fight on the judges' scorecards. Longtime commentator Joe Rogan is a huge advocate of this practice, continually mentioning it on his podcast, so considering how knowledgeable he is about MMA, we would tend to agree this is a good move. He goes on to explain that boxing and MMA are the only sports where the practitioners do not know who is winning, so it probably makes sense when you think about it that way. What do you guys think? As always, let us know what you think in the comment section below, and remember to tune in next time. Thanks, guys!